Hey guys, welcome if you're new and welcome if you're not. Today we're talking about the Rudolph Ruby case, which is extremely shocking and a strange case. Now, Rudolph was reported missing by his mother 8 years ago, but he allegedly returned back to her house the next day. Now, this mother didn't call up the police and say, "My son is home." No, she continued to have police believe her son is missing for the last 8 years, and she had her son going by a fake name while living in a house. She gave him a fake date of birth. Now, allegedly, when cops would come to her house, after the time he went missing to find out about if he's still a missing person, she would have her son, the victim, quote his fake name and his fake date of birth. Now, what is absolutely shocking to me is that these are cops, these police, they're meant to be trained. They're meant to know that all sorts of strange goings on can be happening, that all sorts of weird things can be going on in a household, right? Now, they must have the photo of the missing person. So you're telling me they have the photo of the missing person. They have the photo of the missing person. And remember, he was only 17 years old when he went missing. So this is a very young person. They can talk to the person who was missing and they can take a fake name and a fake date of birth. And that's it. They're satisfied that's not the person. That is absolutely shocking and crazy to me. Surely if someone's missing and you see somebody that looks exactly like the person in the photograph, more questions need to be asked. You need to be seeing, some sort of photographic ID to prove that that is the person in the picture. You need to be seeing more. I do not understand how these cops can be looking at the missing person and they can be given a fake name and a fake date of birth, and they're good, and they can go about their business. Okay, this mother has been able to get away with, what I believe to be horrendous things, because the police have failed this boy right here. They failed Rudolph, because there is no way his mother should have been able to be pretending he was missing, having him quoting a fake date of birth and name, and being able to get away with it. But what is even more shocking about this case is he was found in terrible condition, lying at a church. He has terrible wounds. He was in really bad condition. He looked terrible. And the mum was giving the fake, like, oh my God, he's been found. But we know she was lying because the neighbours said they've seen her son at her house numerous times over the years. They've talked to him before. And, the son, Rudolph himself, has allegedly said that his mum was lying. But what is even worse is the allegations that her son has made against her. And I'm going to let you listen to investigator talk, because when you hear the allegations, you'll be sickened like I was to hear he has been allowed to go home with this mother.
20 minutes one-on-one with Rudy and with one of the detectives. I heard horrific things from that young man, and I did not want him to see me start shedding tears, but I couldn't hold back the tears because of the things he was saying to us, the detective and myself. No child should ever be treated like that by your own mother. This young man said that when he initially ran away, he came back 2 days later, and she told him that he had to hide, that he was going to get in trouble, and they were going to arrest him for running away, and that he had to continue hiding. And so she hid him out for a while, then brought him back to the house and hid him in the home. And initially, whenever the investigators would come, she would hide him in the house. And he kept saying, I don't want her to go to prison. I don't want her to get in trouble. I don't want her to go to jail. And so we asked him, why did you run away? And he said he just got tired of her not respecting his boundaries. And she said that he wanted his own life. And his exact word was, I was tired of living like a slave. She would take him to work with her, and he would do the required work she was supposed to do. And a lot of the responsibilities of her job was on him. And he went on to say that what troubled him the most was her crossing his personal space boundaries. He said that she would make him sleep in the bed with her. And he said that she made him play daddy. He said that he didn't like getting in the bed with her, that he would try to sneak out of the bed and sometime hide under the bed, but she told him he had to be her husband. That's a damn shame, man. A little boy said she was the one providing drugs to him for years. Hallucination drugs, mushrooms, etc. And that the reason why he was left, he was just tired of her crossing his boundaries. When he would shower, she would come and pull the shower curtain back and stare at him, and then she would make him bathe her with the soap. And he ran away this time because he was tired.
Well, now, you've been doing this for many years. How emotional is today?
It's a goddamn shame. I ain't never in my life heard of a mother doing to a child what this woman did.
Were you at all there when your mother was questioned?
Yes.
And what was her reaction when
Yes.
you talked to her?
And I knew something was wrong with the story. When she was questioned, when they found him, he had her credit card in his pocket. She just canceled that credit card 2.5 years ago. So if he's been missing for 8 years, how the hell he get your credit card in his pocket when they found him from 2.5 years ago? And he said to us that she gave him that credit card so he could go and buy her certain things.
But with the other allegations, what was her response to those allegations?
She hadn't even heard them because we had to remove her from the room.
But so she hasn't been questioned about that?
Can you describe her demeanor and his demeanor during questioning?
When she was in the room, he wouldn't say nothing. He wouldn't say one word when she was in the room. But the minute she left the room and we were allowed to talk to the young man, and he asked, he said, "Can I speak with Mr. X by myself? Can I talk to Quanell by myself?" And the detective was like, "Well, can one of us stay in the room?" And he was like, "Okay, but I'll talk to him." When she left, when he first came here, he was holding on to her. He wouldn't talk to them. He wouldn't say one word to anybody. Like he was petrified. But the minute he got alone by himself, he slowly calmed down. And he slowly began to talk very coherently and specific details.
This is a man in his mid-20s. People might wonder, why not run away from this situation? Why not get yourself out of it? Did he give you any explanation about that?
I honestly believe, based on what he said to us, she was drugging the hell out of this kid. And she convinced him that he was in trouble for initially running away and that law enforcement wanted to arrest him and put him in jail for running away. She had convinced him that all type of agencies were looking for him to put him in jail.
He was in plain sight, according to you, in that he would take her to work.
No, he would go to work with her.
Right. He would
stay at the job with her.
She would take him to work. Where did she work, and where was he doing this work?
It was some kind of security job or something like that. Where they were at, I don't know, but it was a security type job, a nighttime security watch type job.
How did he end up in the church?
We still can't. He admit that he had took mushrooms, okay? And 2 weeks before this, or a week, not even official, whole 2 weeks, her car was stolen, okay? When her car was stolen, she didn't know how the car was stolen, but the keys were in the car. And he stole the car. That's when he got into the accident in the car. And it was him that got into the accident in that car.
What was the story? I mean, this is 8 years he was reported missing. What's the story that he's been I spoke to neighbors who said he went by dope, but he never kind of told anyone what happened. What was his story?
Because she had convinced him that he was in so much trouble for initially running away, and she gave this boy serious drugs to the point to where this boy needs extensive professional help.
How did he stay missing for so long? I mean, 8 years.
He was allowed to visit with some of the neighbors under an assumed name. She believed that after so many years, people had forgotten about the case, and that under an assumed name, and convinced him to use that name, nobody would put two and two together.
But he never told any of the people that he was with what was happening?
Never told anybody what was going on. I spent about an hour and 20 minutes.
Now, how can he be allowed to take him home? It doesn't matter whether he wants to go home with her or not, because he is a victim. He's a victim. She's had years to brainwash him. He's been through horrendous things. He may also be scared of her. She may be blackmailing him. There's absolutely no way he should be in her care. He should most definitely be somewhere else where he is being helped to be able to talk through things. There is no way you should be going to the person who has allegedly abused you. And I don't care if you are 25 or you are 45. At the end of the day, when these sort of allegations are made against someone, it is very serious. The police could have put him at extreme risk right now. What is to say she couldn't, end his life, just to keep him silent long term? This woman is clearly, if the allegations are true, a danger to him and possibly a danger to other people, right? Now, the police have apparently said that, it was his choice. He is over 25 years old. He has been connected to Adult Protective Services and the Police Department Victim Services. Not good enough. Not good enough, because for him to be in this condition, for her to have had him lying from the age of 17 years old, for her to allegedly, she'd been taking him to work with her, and he's allegedly been, doing her job while she does nothing. So she's allegedly been keeping him as what we would call nowadays a modern slave. And for them to let him go back into her care is absolutely, shocking to me. And in fact, the fact that he escaped her house is even just, it's crazy to me that he even got away from her. And for them to let him go back with her when he has expressed that he is a victim is really shocking. This sort of case could make other people who were victims and are thinking about escaping, or thinking there's no point because you can be sent back with the other person. This choice should not be his at this point. He shouldn't be able to choose if he wants to go and live with her at all. I'm hoping criminal charges are brought against her. It's a crime anyway to lie to officers, but allegedly he had lied about his name and date of birth as well, but I think that is irrelevant. As we can see, he is a victim, so a lot of the things he has done will not be out of choice. And as the guy said, allegedly he has terrible wounds. I hope more is done about this case and it's not just ignored. This mother needs to answer for her actions, and I feel she needs to answer for her actions in the courtroom. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Let me know what you think about, this case. What should be done about it? Was it wrong of the cops to allow her to take him home? Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in another one.
Be the fam, that's what they call me. I promise that you never be lonely.